I want you to make him very welcome from the Port Adelaide Footy Club, Mark Williams.
G'day, mate. All the best, yeah.
Lovely to see you. How are you?
Mate, good on you.
Oh, Eddie.
Eddie.
Where's Eddie down there?
Great of you to come in, Mark. You actually came in last year, just sat in the audience and watched, and here we are 12 months later. Do you think you'd be sitting in that seat as one of the two coaches in the grand final?
Well, footy's a bit like that. You have to dream about getting somewhere, and it was fantastic last year. Really enjoyed it, so it's great to be back up here now.
How are your preparations going? The final training done and dusted, or you got a light run tomorrow? What's happening?
No, we're going out to the MCG. We're really looking forward to, you know, after the parade, getting out there and having a few shots on goals. I think it's pretty important to kick straight, and so we'll get out there and do that. But it's been a great week. Everyone's really embracing it. There's a lot of young players in our side that are really looking forward to the parade tomorrow. Apparently Hale's coming, is that right?
David.
No, I've got
Yeah,
the weather
Hale.
here.
Yeah, on the way, Hale.
Yeah.
Just for you blokes. Because you get plenty of run from the Port Adelaide side. Is that what they're going to do against the Cats, Marco?
I'm not sure I can talk to you, Billy. You're a spy.
I'm not a spy.
Now,
No, we are going to try and wheel out a bit of speed against you, see how that goes. And, you know, round 21, we threw that down there at Cardinia Park and got a good result, so we'll see if we can do it again.
Now, we don't want to rub salt into the wounds, but you gave the Kangas a belting last week, which the Cats did a couple of weeks prior to that. Did you learn anything from what the Cats did to the Kangas that you took into that game? Did you understand the question?
Yeah, it was a long question. Look, I think the Kangaroos had a fantastic year. You know, the fact is they come from 14th and all the way to right up to the top. Lost their best goal kicker at the start of the year, so I thought Dean did a wonderful job. And if they hadn't kicked poorly in the second and third quarter against us, it would have been a lot tighter game. So, you know,
How charitable of you, mate.
yeah, I know that, but there's been a lot of things go right for us for the whole year. We won a lot of close games, and you know, we're really looking forward to taking our opportunity when it comes on Saturday.
Choco, you seem really relaxed. You do as a coach. The players seem relaxed, happy to do an interview. Perhaps not the same down at Geelong. We'll talk to Mark Thompson shortly, but here they are. This is at the airport, of course. It just seems that you've taken a decision to embrace the whole week.
Yeah, I think it's one of the exciting things in footy life is to be part of the grand final week, and you know, coming on this show is one of the things that I think, yeah, that's the right thing to do as well. I suppose watched Lee over a long time, you know, coming down and being part of it, and I thought John Worsfold, you know, I think it's a great thing for you people to have a coach here, and I think it's good for a message for our players as well.
Absolutely. I mentioned the final training session. You're going to have a light run tomorrow, but Alberton is the spiritual home of your footy club, Choco, and you went out and there's the fans, and that is absolutely fantastic. Beautiful day for you in Adelaide, and the faithful, they're nice and hard at it, the Port fans, and they're out in number.
Yeah, they're very unforgiving as well. You know, they expect us to do well, and you know, last year was our first time, I think, in 7 years we weren't in the final, so they gave us a bit of a kick up the bum and get us back on track, and you know, to have an opportunity to win, you know, on Saturday is just fantastic for them. And I know there's a lot of people come over from Adelaide that are really looking forward to the game, and we just want to, you know, do what Port Adelaide does, win premierships.
Bucks?
Choco, in your win last week, it was well documented about the celebrations of Treadray and Corns after a couple of goals, and it was painted on the TV that your reaction was a little bit, you know, disappointed with their reactions. Is that a fact, or how do you see that as a coach in a game that you won very well and already had it won?
Yeah, well, my reaction was that we had Michael Wilson unfortunately get injured in the second quarter, and you know, things can happen in games very, very quickly. We kicked 6 goals in a row. The crowd were doing a Mexican wave, and I was getting a little bit, hey, things can happen in regard to other injuries. So I was just more concerned that they were interested in playing the game out. I got out there at three-quarter time, chatted, grabbed the group, and you know, we won the last quarter. So I was really pleased that they kept going with what they were about. So that celebration, you can write some stories about it. It had nothing to do with what I was worried about.
And Treadray, of course, is a big soccer fan, and he takes a lot of those celebrations from the soccer players over in London. What about Michael Wilson? He is the heart and soul of your footy club. You're going to miss him.
Yeah, without any doubt. Michael came to the club yesterday on crutches just to see the final training session. He will be there on the weekend. It was a very small thing that happened, but he broke his Achilles and completely ripped it. So it'll be about 6 months, and he plays with a lot of vigour, he can play on a lot of different players, so it's going to be very difficult to replace him.
All right, well, that brings us to the team. Have a look at the Port Adelaide side that's going to battle out for this 07 premiership. Nathan Buckley, talk us through this team.
Yeah, Gaz, only the one change, obviously, we were just discussing. Michael Wilson will go out, and, as much of a spiritual leader as you can get in a team, and Bradley Symes will come in. Lightly played this year, but has been a very good marking and running player off halfback for Port Adelaide over the last couple of seasons. Leighton Brogan will be the interesting two against the Geelong combination of Ottens and King, and obviously a lot of run in that side. It'll be interesting if they get a dry day, exactly how much damage they can do.
Speaking of Ottens and King, Choco, that's a decision that's caused a bit of a furore over here, that the Cats have decided that Blake's out and King's in. How have you read that?
It's a tough call, but Bomber after the game was talking about his disappointment with Blake. Having watched it pretty closely, I didn't think it was as bad as might have been. I thought Nathan and his boys really read the knocks off the ground and did particularly well. I think they outscored him at stoppage last week. So I think Collingwood showed us a little bit of how to play them, and certainly Adelaide down at Geelong in, I think, round 19 did a pretty good job against them as well. So, you keep learning from how other clubs and how other coaching staff approach a game, and hopefully we've got the right tactics to win. I think Ottens will play a long time in the forward line, so that's what they'll be hoping to do.
How much of the traditional Port Adelaide, or the tradition of Port Adelaide, plays a role in the weekend? You're winners. You're a winning club. You've had an amazing sequence of events. You've owned the SANFL over there. You've won a premiership already here in the AFL. How much of that mentality does this group carry in? Because there's a lot of these players that we don't know a hell of a lot of. They've come on really quickly. They've handled the pressure quickly. I mean, is that something you sell aggressively at Alberta?
Yeah, it is. It gets into just walking the pathway through the players' lockers. There's I think there's 36 premiership teams they walk past every day. They see some wonderful photos of the 2004 premiership. They see some fights. They see some, and there's a big space there for a 2007 picture to put up there. And it's a long time. I know Nathan's up on the wall there, and the fact is they get a lot of confidence out of the fact that they've been at Port Adelaide. Port Adelaide, a winning club. And, we really look forward to taking that confidence into the game.
Now, Mark, have you spoken to Mr. Scott recently, and will you be wearing a necktie to the grand final?
Look, Alan and I don't speak that often. But the fact is that he's been a wonderful supporter for us. He continues to be. He will be again next year. And, without him, we couldn't get to where we are now. So I really respect what he's done there. He's a fantastic trucking company, and anyone out there that wants to support his trucking company, get on to him.
Beautiful.
Well, speaking of companies, Choco, that have been good to you, Vodafone, the other company there, I think 11-year sponsor of the Port Adelaide Footy Club. So when mobs get on you, they stay on. Thank you very... Oh, sorry.
Well, I was just going to say, speaking about companies, will we do this now?
No, a bit later when we've got another man on the panel.
We're not going to do this now.
Mark, we really do appreciate you making the effort.
Can I have a talk on that? Because I've been watching it for years.
Yes, just a minute. I'll just... he's rung in, I think.
Oh, look out.
Just Mark Williams for you, Ed.
Hello, Eddie. Not this year, mate. Maybe 2 years' time I'll be back.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep the applause coming. As I say, it's very generous of his time to come actually in here. It's great to see Mark Williams live on the grand final Footy Show. Put your hands together for the coach of Port Adelaide.
Good luck, Choco. Good luck, mate. You're a bloody star, mate. All the best. Hope you have a great day.
As Choco says farewell to the team, that is as good a performance from a coach on the eve of the grand finals you're ever likely to get. It's fantastic for the competition to have someone like Mark Williams at the head of an AFL club. We wish him well on the weekend. Now, if you watch the show all year, you'll know that I don't do music intros.